Close your eyes for a second. Picture a world where your career, your house, your kids' future, it's all tied to one single industry. Not an app, not a stock, but the physical act of bending steel into cars. Welcome to Detroit, 1950, the fifth largest city in America, a place so rich it was practically printing its own money. This wasn't just a city, it was the engine room of the American century. The wages were so high, a factory worker could own a home, a car, and a future. A pretty good deal. A deal, it turns out, with a hell of an expiration date. Because that engine started to sputter. By the 1970s, the logic that built Detroit started to tear it apart. The car makers, the very heart of the city, started moving. First to the suburbs, then to other states, chasing cheaper everything. And as the jobs left, so did the people. Specifically, the people with money. It wasn't a sudden crash. It was a slow, grinding bleed for 50 years. Imagine watching your city just evaporate. From 1950 to 2010, Detroit lost 61.4% of its population. That's not a statistic. That's like looking around and seeing that 3 out of every 5 people you grew up with are gone, and they took their tax dollars with them.
The scar tissue was immense. By 2012, about 40 square miles of the city lay vacant. Let me put that another way. An area the size of San Francisco was just empty lots and skeletal houses, a modern ruin. Then came the foreclosures. Between 2005 and 2015, 1 in every 3 properties faced foreclosure. Every third door on the street. And then the final, inevitable gut punch. In July 2013, the city declared bankruptcy, the biggest municipal bankruptcy in U.S. history. We're talking about $18 billion in debt. That's not just a number on a spreadsheet. That's police departments, fire stations, and the pensions of people who worked their whole lives for the city, all gone up in smoke. But here's the thing about hitting absolute rock bottom. It's a reset button. A terrifying, brutal, but total reset. And what's happening now is one of the most audacious financial experiments you'll ever see. Forget your index funds. This is a city going all in. Ford Motor Company bought the Michigan Central Station, a colossal derelict train station that had been rotting for 30 years and is pouring around $740 million into turning it into a high-tech mobility campus. It's not a renovation. It's an exorcism. On another block, a $1.4 billion skyscraper is rising on the old Hudson's department store site. These aren't safe bets. They are massive, symbolic wagers that you can literally build a new future on top of the ruins of the old one. And it's not just corporations. Look at the people. Between 2014 and 2022, the value of Black-owned homes in the city increased by nearly $3 billion. That is generational wealth being clawed back from the abyss. And after decades of shrinking, in 2023, Detroit's population actually grew. By just 1,852 people, it's a tiny number, but it's not negative. For the first time since your parents were young, the line is going up. Even the homicide rate is the lowest it's been since 1966. Of course, it's fragile. There's a real danger the shiny new Detroit is only for the few, pushing longtime residents out. But the sheer scale of the gamble is breathtaking. We spend our lives being told to diversify, to hedge, to never put all our eggs in one basket. Detroit was the ultimate single basket. It broke spectacularly, and its solution is to build a new basket, just as concentrated, just as bold, and bet the entire city on it all over again. It's a hell of a story. We'll see how it ends. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I have another one for you.